Hello. I think this is live. I'm not sure exactly without inviting folks. I don't want to harass the internet by inviting peeps left, right, and center. I'm not sure how one joins. I think you can just go to the event and join. However, um, I don't seem to be getting any audio myself. I'm picking up audio. But I don't think I'm hearing it when I do the test sounds. So that's fun times. So I can talk, and I think it's picking up my mic, but somehow I trashed my speaker. But that's fun. Um, yeah, cool. Well, since there's no one on for me to talk to right now, I can just talk and not worry about being able to listen. I'm sure as soon as somebody gets on, I'm gonna have to figure it out. So anyway, yay! Big Bad Con funded, and not only did it fund, it went through every single of our stretch goals. I am so crazy excited. Oh, I see there are viewers. There are viewers. You are viewing, but I don't know how to add you. Let's see. If you are viewing and want to join, oh, Sophie's viewing. Yeah, if you want to join, go ahead and I see people putting comments in chat. So go ahead and put comments in chat, and I will invite you. Again, I just don't want to flood people's threads. Yeah, three viewers, exciting times. This was such an amazing campaign. I remember at the beginning of it, well before we launched it, and not being sure that we should even do a Kickstarter this year. I was concerned about fatiguing the audience, and was a little bit on the fence about it. And then the shenanigans of the hotel came up, where turned out that the beds, which we had previously been pulling out of the rooms and putting tables in to make private game rooms, were now bolted to the floor at the Hilton. I don't know what bed thieves were running off with mattresses and box springs, but apparently it was an issue because they bolted every single bed to the floor, and that made our old location just impossible. So we had to look around, and we were crazy lucky that the Marriott, not only that the Marriott had an opening, but also I think a little bit that our sales rep had just moved there and was really looking to get, he had moved from another hotel. He was an experienced rep, but I think he was really looking to get his reserve bookings set up, and was very eager to talk to us. And although it wasn't as reasonable as although it wasn't as reasonable as the Hilton was, they offered us so much more, more space, nicer amenities, little nooks and crannies to meet. Nathan's telling me that there is a separate invite URL. Let me find that. Where is the invite URL? Let's go invite people, and let's copy that, and use the URL to join. All right, I think I just posted the URL to join. And again, I really hope that if you join, I'll be able to hear you. I'm pretty convinced I won't. But anyway, oh, Nathan's here.
What?
Hey, Eddie, sir. Okay, so this is awesome. Nathan's here, and as I expected, cannot hear him. So I'm going to try a combination of like 6 different headset options. You know, I'm an IT guy. I figured I'd have this shit down. But no. All right. Let's see if either of these work. I love it. I love the shirt. I should be wearing a shirt. I might run over and get a shirt. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Sophie. Hello.
Hello.
Man, this is awkward. Nathan, no one's talking. Okay, I can see mouths are closed. I can't. Sophie, it's just your picture. I can't see if you're talking or not, so I may just be talking over you. This is embarrassing.
Can you hear me?
I'm gonna stop talking for a second while I fiddle with this, and you guys talk about how awesome. How awesome this is. Actually, I have another idea. I might view it on my phone. I'm gonna try that, and then I can hear myself through my phone. It's gonna be weird.
I can hear you, Sophie.
Oh, very good. I can hear you too, Nathan.
Okay, so it's just Sean.
That's funny. Thank you.
Two out of 3 ain't bad.
Hi, everybody.
That's my husband. Edmund.
Hi, Sophie's husband.
And now we don't have a Sean.
He's trying to figure out how to hear us.
Technology is wonderful, but also imperfect.
It's Sean's all the way down.
And now we've added a Jill.
Hi, Jill.
Hello.
Hey, Jill.
Oh, no.
Oh, don't mind him.
I am echoing.
Yeah, now you're going to have feedback.
How's this?
It's awesome. There's so many of you. Now with 20% more Sean.
All right. How about this?
Oh, that's like Kilroy was here kind of look.
I'm seeing double Sean.
All right. How about this?
We will follow you to any convention you use.
Okay, I'm hosting from my computer with the video from my computer, but audio from my phone. This is good times. Awesome.
Is perhaps your mic not selected in your audio settings right now?
That is absolutely not the case. I've checked my audio settings like 400 times. In fact, I started setting this up 10 minutes before the call because I thought Google Hangouts are super easy. They always work for me. It's no problem. and then I've had this old headset for ages that a bird that used to be a companion of mine chewed through, and then I've had this old oh no! Now it's repeating. A bird that used to be a companion of mine chewed through. Oh no! We're getting a loop. We're getting a feedback loop.
There.
Have we ended the
silence?
Yeah. So the headset that I've had for years that's been just sort of barely cobbled together, finally broke, and I thought, oh well, that's fine. I've got another one. I've got my webcam. I've got my speakers, and yet all of them have decided that they don't want to work either. So
that's because they don't want to work together.
Yes, clearly. So yay! I'm super excited that that we did it, and that Big Bad Con is happening. It's kind of amazing.
So excited for it to be local.
Yeah. Is Walnut Creek in your hood, Jill?
It is my hood.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well,
so I can practically walk there.
Awesome. Well, that's the reason why we did it. We're like, can we get this closer to Jill?
Actually, you guys Jill's house in the morning, guys.
What's that?
Coffee and donuts at Jill's house in the mornings.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll get up extra early to bake. Okay. Hey, any word on if you guys are considering doing like a protospiel or anything like that for the new con?
Doing a what, sorry?
A protospiel.
A protospiel. Tell me about this. Tell me about this.
Basically, for games, people who are creating other games, an opportunity to come in and let people test them out and give feedback and that kind of thing.
Well, we definitely do a fair amount of playtesting where people run playtest games. In fact, that's sort of now. It used to not be really designatable that your game was a playtest. You could put it like in the description, but now when people submit games, they can designate whether those games are playtest games or not. But it's not sort of cordoned off into its own track. It's part of the sort of normal. The normal schedule, but I certainly am interested. I mean, Metatopia's big shtick is people bringing their games to playtest, and I think it's fantastic. So yeah, I would totally be. If we got, well, it's a chicken and egg thing. I think if we got enough playtests, we would absolutely separate it out into its own sort of track. But it might be a good idea to just start, let people know that we're interested, so that we can fill up said potential track.
Yeah.
I say not as the event coordinator, Sophie being the events coordinator, so I should probably see what she thinks about it.
She's muted.
I believe you're.
We've rendered her mute.
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Jill was asking about whether or not we're going to have what she said was a proto-spiel or
I heard that part. I just didn't hear the last bit where apparently my name was mentioned.
The idea was, would we create a separate track or specifically sort of invite playtests? I mean, we have them on the schedule right now, but would we make sort of an own playtest area or playtest track or
I got an easy answer for that. If there is a fairy godmother or father to shepherd it, it can be a track or a track within a track.
Yeah.
If not, it's going in with the rest, and maybe there'll be a track next year.
Yeah.
Can I suggest that at the very least we could do something on the website and the schedule to highlight them, like put playtest in big friendly letters.
Yeah.
Yes, don't panic.
That's right.
Yeah, I think because we've been going to a whole bunch of different cons and having the opportunity. My partner and I, who both sponsored on the Kickstarter separately, we've been going to a whole bunch of different cons, and our absolute thrill of the moment is not just playing the stuff that we go to play, but to try out the new stuff and see how we can break it or make it better. It's like our thrill a minute.
Yeah.
And
so do I hear an enthusiastic godmother?
What's that? What was that, Sophie?
Do I hear an enthusiastic godmother for a new track?
Oh, honey, I gotta go find my my magic wand. But I'd be happy to participate in some fashion that way. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to.
Jokes aside, that would be really cool and very doable. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Just some way of making it organized, and so people can find these games and and know how to give feedback and so forth.
Right.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I don't think in terms of scheduling or space, it really requires more than just sort of being highlighted. I mean, it's really easy for us to have to build sort of a track, but in terms of giving, making it really meritorious for the designers who are love getting feedback and love having the opportunity to put their product, their game in whatever state it's in front of people. I think having something a little bit more formalized would be super. I mean, it would be fun. Like you said, Jill, it's tons of fun to play these new games and sort of see them in development. But I think it could also be really great for designers who are wanting to get feedback.
Yeah.
And they can get a special button.
I like that.
Yes. Yeah.
Sophie, should I send you my info if you want to chat about this offline?
Absolutely.
Where do I send it?
That's a good question. Is there a magic button where you can just like Let's see. Do I get your profile if I go on this? I see your profile. Yeah, I see. So yeah, I see you. I will add you, and you can just contact me to Google Plus, and then I'll send you my email rather than
Wonderful.
spell it out. And
Perfect.
Merci.
de rien.
So my goal was not to do more work and development on the con, but look, it happens anyway.
And here we are.
Yeah.
We're multitasking.
Yes. Sophie's been there, but for everyone else, I just try to capture it in the video and in the picture. But it is just unbelievable the difference between the hotels. Like the Hilton was fine. It was adequate. It was serviceable, but the Marriott is. Dwayne's joined us. Hey, Dwayne. Maybe Dwayne is joining us without audio, or that's coming on board. But
Well, the Marriott, I used to do meetings there with a professional photographers groups many years ago, and they were always very kind and accommodating.
oh, that's wonderful to hear. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was like 10, 20 years ago. But I mean, they're still holding meetings there. I mean, it's been that many years. They're still going there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's FogCon hosts is a science fiction fantasy con that's in March, and I spoke with some folks there, and they really love the space. And just when I went, I was just so amazed at how nice it was. I mean, it's just so all the restaurant and the bar and all the old little spaces. You know, Big Bad has always had the issue that there was no like hangout place. Like every square foot that we had was gaming space, and so if some people wanted to hang out, it was kind of like squeezing into the reg area. And now we just have so many cool areas to socialize in, which will be really nice. Oh, I'm getting feedback again. Wait, did I do something? Did I break it?
Yeah, you're still good on this end.
Yeah, I'm good
Sound
on this.
good here.
Awesome.
So this is fun.
Absolutely, Dwayne. Well, you're muted, so I'm going to assume you got us, Dwayne.
So we're going to assume you agree with us.
Yes. Yeah, I think some things that haven't really been formed yet because they didn't get put into place until Chris. They didn't come into place until we hit the last stretch goal. Was all the private rooms. Another wonderful thing about the hotel was previously expanding our room block was like an act of Congress, and they always wanted to sort of leave the space open for the Raiders fans because it would often be Raiders games the same weekend. And this time I said to my rep, "Oh hey, would it be possible for us to get more game rooms?" He's like, "Yeah, sure. I'll send you over a contract at the end of the day, and you can just sign it if you guys hit your stretch goal." Which the fact that you even understood what a stretch goal was phenomenal. I was like, "Oh my God, you're paying attention." So yeah, it means we're gonna have a social deduction room too, and Envoy, Avi and Vinny are gonna be hosting that, and so I've got to get with them and find out all the details there. But it's pretty darn cool. Did anybody have any I don't know questions about the con or things like Joel that you were looking forward to seeing?
Do you think there'll be a healthy scholarship fund then this year? How does it compare to previous years?
That is a really good question. I know how many backers there were, and if I look at each individual backer, I can figure out how much they pledged. But until I get to the backer kit where it'll sort of assemble it all, I don't know what the total fund is. So right now, let's look at it. Clickety click. Last year we raised $590, which was enough to bring 4 people out in various ways. Some folks we covered more than others. Some needed more or less assistance. And we had 13 backers at the scholarship level, and then quite a few people added more through Backer Kit, because it's an add-on Backer Kit at any pledge level. This year we have 26 backers, and I know that several of them backed it higher than the $10 level. So if we extrapolate out based off of how well we did last year and how much more we've backed, how much more support there's been, my guess is we'll safely probably be at the $800 or $900 mark, maybe higher. And that probably means, depending on how much assistance they need, we could bring anywhere from 3 people out nearly completely to hopefully more like 8 or 9 in various portions. So one person's already applied, which is awesome. I'm excited to see that the scholarship was visible, so yeah, I'm really excited about being able to bring out folks who wouldn't be able to afford to otherwise. So
that's too cool.
I think it's going to keep growing. And one thing I do love is that it's like an impulse buy. When you're at the grocery store and you see the bag of M&Ms there, is that when people go through Backer Kit, there's like, do you want to throw $10 into the scholarship? And last year, a lot of people did that, which was really fantastic. So yeah, hoping we'll see more of that this year.
I don't remember seeing the option to throw $10 into the kit.
It was. Let me look at it. So when you got your survey, like the last panel is what add-ons would you like to add, and you could buy badges, you could buy other stuff, and the first thing on the list was a scholarship. Let me just make sure I'm not. Well, I know it's there because I remember it went through, but let me see. Let me see what it said.
Yeah, because I'm just looking at what my pledge was, and I don't remember seeing it, although my partner here says he did.
No, I was asking.
Oh, you were asking. Oh, he hasn't seen it either. So. Okay, because I think we would have adjusted and done more.
Well, do you mean just in this Kickstarter or from last year?
Well, I didn't know about it last year, so this is all brand new to me.
Oh yeah. Aha. Sorry.
I stumbled upon you guys.
Yay! Well, welcome. I'm sorry. I was talking about the Backer Kit last year. So the Backer Kit for this year hasn't gone out yet.
That's probably why we haven't seen it. Okay.
That's why we haven't seen it. Yes. Yeah. A lot of people are asking. So the way that people will add scholarship contributions, the way people will add extra badges if they want them, any of the sort of add-ons will be through Backer Kit, which will go out end of the month. Okay. And that way, it'll ask questions like if you backed to name a room, or if you got the gift box, it'll ask you your address or what you want the room to be named after, and then it'll also allow you to add on any of these things. So yeah.
And we can upgrade if we want.
Most upgrades can be done. Some things are limited quantities. So for instance, the gift boxes are like sold out. They were. We kept on getting more contributors so we could send out more of them, but for every time we open it up, those filled out. But pretty much everything else is upgradable. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry if I'm asking the dumb question.
No, you're absolutely asking the great questions, because several people have asked me this already online. I tried to put it in updates and whatnot, but the problem is with Kickstarter, it's like everything is always so verbose. There's always like so much crap to say that it gets lost in there. Like I haven't been able to send out an update that wasn't like about 3 things. No matter how much I try, it's always covering
the
a bunch.
TLDR version with 3 bullet points and then the summary.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. It's a really good idea. But yeah, Backer Kit is my savior. It handles so many logistical things that otherwise you have to jump through a lot of hoops using the Kickstarter surveys. I think Kickstarter surveys have actually improved quite a bit, but being able to handle inventory management just makes it fantastic. Yeah, and they're also really cool people. They're local, so I just went over last week and had lunch with Max, who's the president, and I just emailed him like, hey, you guys are in San Francisco, I'm in Oakland, can we meet up? He said, yeah, sure, come on out. So that was pretty cool. They're very nice people over there.
Very cool.
I'm seeing a Slack notification. Nathan, is that you? Make you sending Slack notifications? Are you adding a link to the?
Maybe I am.
Maybe you are. There we go. Thank you, Sarah. That's what I meant to do before technical difficulties.
All
So,
good.
Nice. I'm so happy that I will show how happy my dog is.
Oh,
Because puppy likes he's hanging out right beneath me, and he's just like he doesn't he wants to be in his bed, but he doesn't want to be far away. So he's just like, I'm just gonna hang out here and look sad until you pick me up. And then now he's back to turning me into his bed, which is all good. This is the reason why I work from home, so I can have this guy in my lap.
Yeah, I'll go get my cat, and we'll have a contest.
Nice.
Except the cat won't be happy.
Oh yeah. No, he's for a short time before we discovered that it was against campus policy. All my coworkers were happy for me to have bring him to work with me, and it was awesome because he pretty much spent about 6 to 7 hours or so just sitting on my lap the entire time, and he was totally happy to do that. He's like, "Yep, as long as you don't move." It was bad for my back though. I needed to get up and move more, but nice having this guy. So yeah, I now also need to go and do the fun thing of contacting all the stretch goal guests, and I think they already know because I'm hoping they've been following the con. They certainly got notifications, but soon we'll be able to start scheduling them out and actually getting their events in the books. Right now we have sort of loose descriptions. Jason's like, I'll do everything, but then we have to figure out what actually get event submissions in. So more things for Sophie to schedule.
do you have a sense of how attendance is going to change based on the number of badges purchased or anything like that?
Yeah, I think so. We had about 50 more badges purchased this year than last year. Let me double check that.
Not that much, okay.
Let's see. 83. Asking me for metrics. I love metrics. I just don't have them on. My suspicion is that last year we capped at 350, and I think this year we'll probably cap at 400. Yeah, we had 50 more backers. So we may even be able to extend it out. I mean, I think with young players, I think we'll cap at 400 adults, and I think with young players, we'll probably be able to add in another 40 or 50, because we have the extra space and the extra now even more so. But ultimately, it'll come down to submissions. I want to make sure we don't allow. I mean, I hope to fill up all the space, but I want to make sure we don't allow people to buy badges if there isn't a reasonable chance that they would get into a game. And so I'm always kind of looking out for that. And luckily, we don't usually get the flood of sort of last-minute badge purchases until close to the end after the game schedule is out, so we already kind of know what our capacity is. But yeah, it's so much space. I think with the private rooms, we're looking at 4,000 more square feet of ballroom space and 10 more tables. It's nuts. I don't even know what to do. We're gonna like have gymnastics classes or something. I don't know.
Oh, we'll fill it. You'll see.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, we're gonna have panels. That'll be
Chill out space.
Chill out space.
Sorry.
That's very musical.
I like the chime. I dig it. I dig it. So yeah, we'll should be. I'm sure we'll use it. We'll be able to give the tell me about your character booth its own space. I bet, which will be nice. People can go in and have their private time with someone listening to them tell stories about their awesome character for charity.
Oh, you know what? You need to line up artist dealer booths near that so that if you want for only $45, you can get a picture of that character.
That's a really good idea. Oh my goodness, that's brilliant. Yeah, I was hoping that Crystal, who's doing the art for Grandma's Storybook, would be able to make it out, but she can't make it down that weekend. But I am sure there are local artists who.
Yes, there are plenty of local artists that will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a brilliant idea. First, donate to charity for someone to listen to your story about your character, and then commission their artwork. That sounds
Maybe
fantastic.
we can get the artist to offer a $5 price break. So.
Probably, yeah.
Their donation.
Right. It's like matching funds.
Yeah.
How heavy is Big Bad Con with cosplay?
Well, we don't have any cosplay events.
We didn't have space for it.
Yeah, but we have. I would say I've seen some cosplay light. I've definitely seen some folks that were dressing up for their events. And what's it called when someone is dressed up and walking down the halls to go to their LARP? I don't think it's cosplay because I don't think they're like dressing up. Yeah, I think they're just being in character. Because we've definitely had some people really dressed to the nines for various LARPs.
You could probably pull in a local photographer to have their portrait done in costume.
Yeah.
With a portion to go to the photographer and a portion to go to charity.
Yeah. Yeah. We have Brian Qua, who's a professional photographer. He comes anyway and just takes shots of the con. All the really, really gorgeous shots from that are on in the G Plus group from the previous years are Brian's, and he is amazing at because a lot of times taking pictures of people playing games at a table is really boring. It's like there's 6 people and maybe some dice on the table.
Right.
But it's true with all that space, we could consider again if we have somebody who's interested in organizing that, we could have a ball one night, a costume ball or a gala.
I like it.
If you're willing to run it.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. I was gonna say, Sophie, you just keep adding. You just keep putting things on your plate.
What I'm picturing is I'm going to make a list of projects that could be adopted. If they're adopted, they happen. If they're not, they stay there, sadly abandoned.
Lonely.
I think it'd be cool if there was some small contest where you could like put names in a box for like teens with the best costume, and then let them get like an end game gift certificate or something like that. I know all my friends, my son's friends are so into cosplay.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, the teen events so far, we've got some panels. We've got some. I'm really excited that Jason is going to come out and do a game design panel for young players. So we've got some panels. We've got definitely RPGs and LARPs on track, but we hadn't really built that out further than that. But I would absolutely be happy to. I was just at Kubla this weekend, and their methodology is just give the kids prizes on the hour every hour for something. There's a drawing contest, or there's a Lego competition, or a cosplay competition, and kind of constantly continue that reward cycle. So yeah, I'd be
short attention span theater. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, when you said that, I'm like, wait, how do I get into this? How I'm missing out?
Yeah, no, that's the intent. I'm as much as it pains me to do this because I want to be in on this cool stuff. We are trying to develop some teen-specific events that are going to be really awesome. Whoa!
Just put that anywhere.
No, my dog just...
Drop things on the dog.
It was the other way around. He leapt off the
Okay.
lap to go stretch and knocked over the phone. So
Blame the
all
dog.
yeah.
Mm.
Or next thing you know, you're going to be saying it's him pissing in the corner.
Oh.
If this wasn't live, I might tell stories about sex. Let's just say his first few weeks here were interesting. Yeah, we adopted him in January, and he loves us. But I think anytime a dog moves, it's a little traumatizing for him.
Stressful. Yeah.
What were we talking about? Oh, teen events. Yeah. Yeah. So there's going to be some panels that are going to be, or some events in general. There's going to be Aaron Bannock is running a game design workshop. Jason Morningstar is going to be putting on a panel, and they're going to be teen events, which means that anyone theoretically can attend, but the teen attendees will get first dibs on them. So when we first open up the reg and there's a quota system in effect, they're the only ones who'll be able to sign up. And then once they've had an opportunity to, once the quota's opened up, if there's open spots, adults will be able to fill them in. But we definitely are trying to make it so that there's some really special and great events that are really focused and for the young players at the con, and rather than just being like, sure kids, go play some Pathfinder in the dungeon. We want to make sure that there's a focus on them as well. So.
From the thread, Jesse is asking if pets or animals are going to be allowed at the con.
Oh, that's a very good question. Thanks, Jesse. Where's Emmett? I demand doggy. Karen just. Sorry, Karen. I wasn't looking at the feed. So to answer Jesse's question, I'd have to check with the hotel. The con doesn't have any specific rules one way or the other. I'm not sure what the hotel's pet policy is. So I will definitely look into that and find out what they say. I think it's becoming more common, honestly, for hotels to allow pets. So yeah, the hotel says so, sure. And now I'm going to respond to you, Karen, and get Emmett back. Oh, he did his stretches. There he is. There you go. There's your doggy. Oh no, that's my face. That's my face. No.
So service animals for sure.
Oh, of course. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Karen is watching you.
So I should start making some notes because people have provided good ideas of things to do. I'll go to the document and start adding.
Yeah, that sounds fantastic. And if not, this will be on YouTube, so we can listen back through it later on and call it for ideas. I'm gonna pull back up the. Yes, thank you, Mira. Absolutely. Yeah, Nathan's got another cool project that he has been developing with me. Want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. So, in addition to our code of conduct, which is our community standards, which is a big, let's be honest, it's a big list of do-nots. We wanted to kind of encourage the behavior we want to see. So we've started developing Big Bad World, which is a set of playbooks you can pick up when you sign in, and as you hang out through the weekend, you'll be able to make experience, earn upgrades, and earn other playbooks to kind of play along. And all of the playbooks are essentially like groups of positive activities we want to encourage people to do at the convention.
Cool. Yeah, so you'll have like a playbook like the Ambassador, and one of your moves will be introducing two people to each other. And when you do that move, you mark XP. And when you have 5 XP, you turn in your playbook and you get a little ribbon that says the ambassador or something. I'm not sure what the ribbon's going to say yet. And you can get another playbook. And that might be like the mage. And the mage might have a move like teach somebody how to play a new game, like teach someone how to play a new game. Or there may be, a move like pull up a chair and invite someone into your circle. All the things that we want to see people doing will be rewarded and made fun, hopefully. I mean, they're fun in their own right, but our idea is that rather than, having this, like Nathan said, this giant list of don't do these things, that we have some fun things to do. So.
Sounds like an excellent idea.
Yeah. So. No, and luckily we got a couple Apocalypse World game designers on the design doc, and they already just started throwing in how about these moves and how about those and try this one. So
play the game you want to see in the world is the theme, I think.
Yep, exactly. So that'll be really cool. I'm excited to see the design too. I think is rather smart, if I do say so myself. Is that the badges are 4 inches by 4 inches wide by 3 inches tall, and the badge holders are the same. And so these playbooks are going to be 4 by 4, so that the top inch will stick out. You slide it behind your. Slide it behind your badge, and the top inch will stick out there, and it'll say what playbook you have, and on the back of it, it'll say your moves and a place to mark XP. And the moves will be hidden behind the badge holder, but the mark XP will be on that top inch where it's visible. So we're not sure how you're going to mark yet, whether it's going to be use slide a paperclip along, or use a pencil, use a writing implement to do it. But I think it's going to be fairly elegant insofar as being easy to just sort of add to your experience at the con, rather than having
maybe
a whole bunch. That's a good idea. Rather than having to carry an additional thing around to remember that you're doing it. So as long as we keep it fittable on a 4x4 grid, then I think we're good, and it should be. So exciting times. What's up, doggy?
That sounds like that'll go well with having so much more open space compared to last year.
Yeah.
Because last year it felt cramped and hard to kind of serendipitously meet people and hang out.
Right, because you were kind of always just either in somebody's space that presumably you knew, or you were walking through the halls. So this will make more hangout places. Yeah. I also think, I don't know, my own personal social anxiety is really greatly overcome when I feel like I'm playing a game that allows me to do certain things. So
definitely.
Yeah. So if I don't know somebody, I'm really nervous about walking up to them being like, "Hi, I'm Sean." But if I have a game that says introduce yourself to somebody and get XP, I'll totally do that. I'll be like, I'm just doing what the game said, right?
That's what my character would do.
Yeah.
And I really like the idea of seeing 2 people walk up to each other in the hall and go, "Hi, I'm such and such," and then pick up their badges and check something off, and high five and walk away.
Yep. Well, there's a game I've seen at KublaCon, which is I mentioned because the con I was just at last weekend, called Monkey vs. Squid, and every time you arrive, and I don't think it's specific to theirs, but every time you arrive, you get this little packet, and you open it up, and you're either a monkey or you're a squid, and you get I think if you're a monkey, you have 3 bananas, and if you're a squid, you have 3 jellyfish. I don't know. And whenever you see somebody who's the opposite team, you play some game with them, like Rochambeau or something else, and whoever wins the game gets one of those items from. Hey, Colin.
Howdy.
Welcome.
Hi.
Hey.
Whoever wins the game gets one of those tokens from the other person, and so you're trying to collect a bunch of bananas if you're a squid, or jellyfish, I think, if you're a monkey, which I think does the same thing, and it's cool, but it doesn't actually get the people to know each other. So I'm way happier about people I'm just doing this thing and getting to know each other's name and hopefully finding out other things about each other. So
I think it'll be good. It's a doggy. Colin, we were just talking about Big Bad World, and because we're very creative and inventive at Big Bad Con. If we have to name anything, it'll always be Big Bad, or possibly Grandma's, or maybe Little Red's.
Hey, it's branding's important.
Yes. And another event that we did for the first time last year, and I was really, really proud of, but I think it needed more work, and I'm really excited to see it coming back, and it's going to be continuing to develop, is that Ash Cheshire made, am I looping? I feel like I'm here.
That's good.
I
Okay.
think there's a
Sound
little
is good
background
here.
noise from Colin.
Except some background conversation from one mic.
Yeah, let me mute here.
No worries. There. Okay. But Ash developed a game called, not a game really, an event called Big Bad Gauntlet, which was 4 tables running Fate games with a very constrained Fate currency, and a sort of central antagonist that was which actually last year we both took the role of. So we had the Wolf and Little Red, and the idea was each of these fairy tale adventurers, which some were kitties on rocket ships, and some were people on a moon prison. So they could sort of make up whatever fairy tale. And Sophie ran. Maybe you could talk about your game as well. Sophie's one of our GMs. But each of these groups are sort of cut off from one another by the antagonist that's kind of that's trying to use the force of the patriarchy to pressure these marginalized groups that have all been isolated. And it's on the groups to sort of figure out ways around that, to coordinate with each other, to determine what they want to get out of the system, and effectively work against the or to overthrow the sort of central antagonist. And I was very delighted last year to be quite taken down. I was destroyed in front of many.
It was great.
And so Ash is going to continue working on that this year, and they're working on it with Brianna Hitchcock, who was also another GM in it, and was super fascinated with it and really knows Fate mechanics very well. Because last year I was trying to help Ash, and I don't know. I think it'll be great having both of them developing it. So that should only improve. I don't mean to put you on the spot, Sophie, but did you have any thoughts from participating in it last year?
Yeah, I think that Brianna with Ash is going to be a kick-ass team, because Ash really knows her stuff, has some great ideas, but Brianna has the GM experience and the practical, how do I turn this into an actual game?
Yep.
It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, so I'm super delighted to bring that back. And I'm also just really happy to be developing this cooperative multi-table event. Previously its predecessor was Big Bad GM, which was this sort of tournament of GMs, which was fun all the way up until the very end, when we had to judge one person as the winner and 3 people as the losers. And nobody, including the person who won, I think really liked that experience. So I'm really glad to have replaced that with, or evolve that really into an event that is that's cooperative between all the tables, and essentially the antagonism comes from the event itself and from the structure. So I think you're right. I think Brianna and Ash will really knock it out of the park.
And the challenge is to bring all this wonderful creative chaos into something that can be appreciated better by everybody present, because last year it was quite confusing to figure out what was going on. But we had some great stories.
Yeah. What was your setting?
We had the Chinese mythology centered around the Moon Palace. Our princess had been stolen, had been kidnapped. And so that tied in with John Kim had the quote pissed off Disney princesses group.
Yes. Oh God, that was such a good group.
Brianna had the Moon maximum security prison for non-gender conforming fables, and Kathy had they were talking space cats.
Yeah.
And this actually, we had a breakfast, all of the GMs and Ash together that morning to talk about our various settings, and we discovered that we could tie them quite easily. There was the whole moon theme developing and the princesses, and so that worked really well. John Kim's Pissed Off Disney Princesses was the tie was that Mulan had been sent to the maximum security prison, so they wanted her back. We wanted the Moon Princess back, so that was quite fun. And the cats went from point A to point B and nearly crashed into the world and nearly destroyed us. That was good.
Yeah, that was. There was. We included an economy for moving between tables where there was, you know, the constrained fate points. One of the ways you could spend them was to move between tables, and I think somehow ways were figured out around it, because at one point I remember like practically every single player was sitting at Bry's table and they were running a game for 15 people or so, it seemed like. And it was just sort of nuts, but it was really fun to see how that evolved, how those groups evolved, and how they were connected with each other.
I think it was the spectators doing that introduced additional ways of moving between table. Wasn't it June Garcia?
That may have been, yeah. I know June was up to no good. June was specifically wheeling and dealing with me and like, well, what can I get for this? And how about, because you know I was in the role of the antagonist, trying to sort of get everyone under my thumb, and so she was like offering up people's allegiance, not necessarily with them knowing she was doing it, at a cost.
And at our table, Devin was playing one of your agents, the Monkey King. But
yes.
In the end, he was going to.
Yeah, he defected.
I think
right?
he helped us get rid of you, and he was going to set himself up as the new despot.
Oh, great.
Monkey King.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? It's going. So another I know we're totally doing the let me tell you about my game thing, but another I'm gonna have to go pretty soon. We have to skedaddle back to work, but another thing which is continuing to grow and I think is really fantastic is games on demand. We every year I think we have more tables, more GMs running more tables, and a lot of folks have said that they, you know, that's I certainly don't want to ever lose our scheduled games, because I think we have some amazing games that are on the schedule, but I love the idea that folks are like, yep, I'm just going to play games on demand. I'm sure there'll be something I want to play in this time block, and it's real. I mean, I think it took a little while to get there. We didn't have quite enough supply or demand. Interestingly, like there wasn't quite enough games, and then when people did show up, they weren't necessarily something that they wanted to see. Like neither pool, and then maybe they did show up, but there wasn't enough players for the game to quite go off. And so the first couple of years of it was a little bit rocky, but it's really been filling out. And last year we had 4 tables running, and they were full every time I looked at them, and it was really fantastic to just see how much that's matured. And this year we're going to have even more space for them. So depending on the number of GMs who submit to run, we'll be able to expand that as well. And I really am excited about that taking off on its own right, because it's a fantastic track at at Origins and at Gen Con and whatnot. And I think it's great at Big Bad, but I want to see it continue to grow. And I think with this space now it really can. Because before we were kind of just like shoehorning them into whatever we had available, but now they'll have a dedicated space.
Yeah, I did a Games in Demand this past year, and it was a blast. I mean, I thought it was great because I got to focus on I picked stuff from the 250 RPG game challenge and had like a number of them, and it was a fun chance to focus on introducing people to these nano games that they might not otherwise you would never really. Seldom would you run a nano game as a scheduled game, basically.
Right.
So, but it's great to people can walk up and they see these choices and they're super clean cut choices because they're so small that people are like, oh yeah, I really want to play this very focused little interesting game, and it brings that side of that weird indie side of the hobby out that you wouldn't normally see. And I had a lot of fun.
Right, because I mean, even though we do sort of have room for 2-hour games in the slots. Even then, I think someone might not be, might be somewhat leery of signing up for a game if they never heard of it. But I think last year you ran Star Force and loving it, and I don't remember if there was others, but I think it was just great that people could be like, cool, I see a picture that looks like an interesting game. It's got a neat write-up. It's available right now. I'll hop into it. And so yeah, I agree. I love the idea of even greater sort of exposure to different games and small things and new things.
That was Dwayne who ran last year?
Sorry, what was that?
That was Dwayne who ran last year?
No, I didn't run.
No, that was Colin.
I played Love It, and Colin ran it.
Yeah,
oh, nice. So what did you run, Colin?
I had a number of ones from the 250 word RPG challenge. One was Love Int that Dwayne was in. It was a lot of fun playing NSA agents and weird love triangles. It was great. And then played Star Force, which is a galactic Star Patrol, which was a lot of fun, and played what's it called, Bandits Here They Come, which is a weird little 2-player game where one person plays the town and the other one plays these bandits that come, and it all goes downhill really fast. That game is engineered to the bandits are cruel and the villagers and the game ends when either the bandits have destroyed enough of the town they're bored and they leave, or the townspeople abandon the town.
Wow.
So it's like Seven Samurai without the samurai.
Yeah, it's a great little one. I also had Fiasco in my back pocket, which I also ended up playing. Fiasco's a great one in the back pocket too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you also brought the Raver and the Bear.
Yeah, I played the Raver and the Bear, and we played a whole bunch of that too. I did play that at the Games of Demand.
Yeah. Oh, you did? You played on Games of Demand? Awesome.
Yeah.
It was a favorite at the Reg Desk as well.
Yeah, Dwayne, you bought a copy, right?
I've played it before with my son.
Oh, awesome.
Awesome. Yeah.
I definitely think you're right about the nano games. They were great because you could look at them and say, heck, I could pick this, we could all pick this up and get playing in no time at all. I mean, when I played with you, I only had just over an hour, and we fit in what I thought was a really cool game where we got some depth of play, and it was very cool.
Yeah, there's some good character stories there, and all went to Afghanistan to prove ourselves and stuff like that. Yeah. I like that, and because I did these nano games that were an hour, you actually came in I don't have a whole lot of time, that's fine. This is one that we can do in an hour.
Yeah.
Yep,
and
those
great things. What I love about those nano games is it also encourages what I love is the idea that you too might create a game, even a small one, and gets people thinking about that game design component too, which is fun.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, So unfortunately, I've got a jet. I don't know if I think when I close my window, it's going to end the broadcast because I started it. But thanks to everyone who came to celebrate with us. This was very impromptu. This is Nathan's idea. I think it was brilliant to just have a little a party on the internet, celebrate the Kickstarter. And Nathan's rocking out. So yeah, thanks everyone who joined and who was watching, and of course, if you're watching this at another time, who backed, because Big Bad is just going to be so awesome this year, and yes, all because all right. Take care, all. You guys have a great day.
Live long and prosper.
See y'all later.
Bye.
Bye.